Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone's doing okay. Good morning, Mitt. It's good to see you back. Sorry about the ads. I tried to get them to strategically play at the beginning before I appear, and when I'm on my ad breaks, or they're not really ad breaks. They're like self-care breaks where I get tea and have a stretch. So I try to keep them all to there, but it does mean they all come at once. How are you doing? I'm doing well this morning. I've had a bit of time to wake up. I've had some coffee, so I'm a little bit good to go. I'm going to be doing some figure drawing this morning. I have line of action set up. It seems to have updated as well, which looks really good because it now tells me where the pictures actually come from, which is really nice. Though I have it in such a small window on the screen, it wouldn't be readable. But the first one is by Cryptid Cosplay, so that's very cool. Just started, 3D modeling your new home. Oh my gosh, that sounds fun. Like a model of your house? Like your IRL house? Or like just a model for something? Either way, 3D modeling is so cool and something I'm not super familiar with. Like, I really want to try and do more Blender stuff, because I've done a bit of 3D modeling, but nothing too complicated, and I really, really like the idea of the grease pencil in Blender. It's so cool, just the 2D and 3D combined. It's just so cool. Everyone does some amazing work with it, and I'm like, I want to do some isometric stuff too. It looks so nice. But that is not today. Today is some figure drawing, and if anybody out there wants to participate, you can go over to Line of Action. It won't be the same images necessarily that I have, but you can make your own class. You can use !draw to get the link. They have a few settings before you begin. You can set how long you have to draw, you can set every image to be at the same time, or you can do what I do, which is put it on a class mode, and then it gives you some images to draw very, very quickly. So the first couple of images we'll draw, they'll be only 30 seconds, so we're literally just trying to get the pose in, and then it eventually goes all the way up to, I believe, 50 minutes or 30 minutes. I can't remember. It depends on how long your class is, but it really eases you in, and I really like it as a whole class. So I highly recommend it. !draw. And if you do, please come over to the Discord if you're over 18 and show me what you did. But then, now that that's out the way, I can begin. I'm just going to make sure that my brush settings are set up for life drawing, because I usually do very, very bright cartoons, and they have a very different way of doing stuff. So yeah, actually, yeah, I want the opacity just on pressure. Yeah, that's better. I like that. Okay, we'll try with this. We'll try with this first. I might change my mind. It's a common thing around here. Cool. I'm buying a big piece of land. Oh my god, that's so cool. I'm modeling the house you're having built. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. That sounds like a process. Good luck with it all, and that sounds very cool. Okay. I'm going to press play, and then I'm going to immediately jump into it. So these few will be 30 seconds long. Hobbit hole all the way! You are living the dream. Oh my gosh, that's very cool. So these will be very quick, maybe very panicked. They tend to be. But we'll just keep going. We just keep going. 30 seconds isn't a long time, so there's no point in being too precious about it or being too hard on yourself. Really, you're just trying to get, you know, the model in. So relaxed shoulders is what I'm getting here. Like, the head's way too big, but I'm not going to focus on that. The knees are slightly up. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on just trying to get the basic pose in. There we go. And we're already on to the next one. Okay. We got this lady with a magic wand. At least that's what I'm interpreting that as. Okay, we got the hand and the leggies. There we go. There we go. And that's about time. And, a nice stretch. But I don't have time. I don't have time to take in the stretch as much as I want to. I'll make sure the arms are long enough. Her back is very straight as well. So we've got this, and then this leg comes in, and then this leg comes all the way out, and we've got bent toes, and this one has a flat foot on the floor. Okay, next woes. So quick, so quick. Okay, got the neck, and it's very straight back, and the arm's got a bit of space between the body here. That's a weirdly placed elbow. We're just going to keep going. This one is bent. Let's get the legs in. There's no shape to those legs, but that's okay. I didn't leave room for the feet. That's also okay. And we're going to keep going. We're still on 30 seconds, so let's just get this warm up going. There's the head. It's slightly tilted up. And I've got some arms coming in. You can just about see that one. And the chest is under the arm there. And we got a leg. And it's coming back pretty straight. Oh no, I missed the time. And we've got our wizard lady again. She's back with a different pose. This time it's in front of her with her hands. We've got a bent arm. And we've got her hips in here. Now I've done what I usually do. I always start doing this. I've started doing everything a bit too big so it doesn't fit in my canvas. So let's try and bring that back. And we've got a minute now. Slightly less of a panic, so... But, you know, a minute is still a very quick sketch. So we got a slight turn. And we've got a slight space in the arm and the body there. So I'm going to pop that in. And then we got the hand. And we're already at half time, so I need to... We've got a bend in the hands here. We've got the shorts. And some nice legs, nice long legs. This foot's turned out. And then this leg, you can kind of just see it poking out from the back there. Like that. Did a bit of a better job keeping the room in. See if we can get that done again. Another minute. And I like these warm-up ones, even though they're frantic. Very quick. It's nice to just get them down on the page without any without being too judgmental is how I feel about this, because you want to try and get the entire body in. So we've got this. There's a bit, you can see the butt, there's a hand. So we've got a nice leg. You know, there's obviously things that I can work on with this, but it's just about getting the pose in. Oh, dang. Okay. Still at a minute. Oh my gosh, there's perspective here. This one's a difficult one for a minute, but let's try and get this done. Okay, we got a neck, and we got a chest here, and a shoulder, and then so this body is going right over here. We got this big space between the arm and the leg, which is up. And there's a space on this side too. So this needs to come out. And then we got a hip up here. And this has got a bend. So we got this leg and we come up. This one comes out. Okay, well, we didn't get the feet in. And I'm going to give it a pause. We've got 3 minutes. Give it a stretch. Untainted Tea, hello, how are you doing? I am doing some figure drawing. We've just gone through the very, very quick ones. We're on 3-minute sketches. If you feel like joining in, we have ! Draw. It takes you to the website that I use to make the classes. You can set up however long or short of a class you want. You can like separate it into male and female models. You can do what I do because I'm streaming and have only covered models. But yeah, I'm gonna have a quick swig of tea. Num 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 num. Okay, let's get back to it. So I'm going to press play and carry on. So we have a little bit more time to go for this one. This is a model that's facing forwards. So let's get her hair in, or guide. We've got this neck. I feel like I get very deceived by the 3 to 5 minutes. Only when 10 minutes I start coming back, because I already know that the 1 minute 30 seconds are incredibly short. But I feel like there's a somewhat relaxed state that I get into usually with these ones, because it's like the in-between time. I'm like, I've got loads of time in comparison to what I had, and then I don't get the rest of the image drawn. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I won't trick myself. Definitely prefer drawing them on paper, but digital is useful. Yeah, me too. It's just I don't have a good setup for a traditional stream. I do it every so often, but only like a couple of times a year, just because my camera's not very good and the lighting situation isn't very good, so I will stick to digital. But for sure, it's nice to get a proper sketchbook feel going. So this foot, oh my gosh, this foot's facing forwards, which is the thing I hate the most. I hate forward feet the most. But we only have a minute, and I want to get the arms in. I do want to try and get back to that foot. I want to do too many things with this pose, and I don't have time for it. Okay. We got hands. And I'm going to try and make sure that these arms kind of match in length. So the hand is above where her head is. So something I like to use, which is why I talk about where things are in position, especially when I'm in the panic modes of the first few quick ones, is I try to use reference points. So that arm looks way too long. I think I came out a bit too far. But I try to use some reference points. So if I look at the picture and say, oh, the hand is above the head, then I know that that's where I need to put it. And if it looks wrong, then something else must be off. Okay, next pose. Forward feet are awful. Yes, they are. Okay, so we have the back of the head, which I always find just putting the ears in really cements that. Okay, so we got the neck, and then the shoulder comes all the way by that ear. We've got that. And then we've got this arm, and then a nice sharp rock comes in and covers some stuff. And then we'll follow this back curve, and I'm going to just try and get that line in how I think it is. I think that's sort of how it is. So then we got the rocks, kind of cradling going on like that. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to try and get this arm in. So where we've got our reference lines, that's probably this. And then you can really see the ribs come in because of how the light is. So let's put that in. And then this is just a very curved back as he's pretty squished in there. How much time have I got? 1.5 minutes. Brilliant. So we've got, that's where the hips are. And we've got the butt and the thigh. Calf muscle, and then we've got foot. And what would be interesting is if I look up, because I know I've drawn this pose before, but I don't know how much time I've spent on it. So it might be fun, actually, to try and dig out some of the old life drawing stream images so I can have a look, see if I can find the similar poses and see if I can spot some improvements. That could be fun. There we go. And then, yeah, this is just the other leg in here. Like, you can't really see much apart from the fact that it does exist, honest. I think the head's a bit taller than that, actually. Let's just give that a shade. I like how I've got the flick of the hair there. Maybe that comes in a bit. Yeah, but I need to make sure that I don't neglect the feet, because that's what I always do. I always neglect the feet, and that's why I hate drawing them, because I don't draw them. I don't neglect the feet. Okay. Okay, we have a 10-minute stream. Gonna give it a pause, and a stretch, and have more tea. Nom 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 nom. I always like to just have a little bit of a shake between all of the different times. Okay, let's have a look at this before we start. I'm gonna give myself that extra time to just observe. That's a really interesting leg angle. I kind of wish I had more than 10 minutes on that, because I'm gonna have a struggle. But I think that's what I'm going to focus on. I might try and just get the top of her body in very loosely, so I can try and focus on those legs and those, because there's foreshortening, there's hands, and it's just legs, which is definitely my weak spot. So this just seems like a very good practice image for me. So let's press play. Let's get this one going. And cue me not knowing what I'm doing. But I do like the variety that I always end up getting on these images. Like, some images I'm like, ah, yeah, I nailed that one, and others are just like, just so mind-boggling to me. Got the hair, so got this coming in. I like drawing legs, but then it inevitably goes to feet, and then half the time I'm like, what? I'm slowly coming around to drawing legs. I'm still not quite there with feet, but I am coming around to the legs. I'm getting there. I'm learning the muscle structure. When I'm creating my own poses, I have I've bought this PDF from an artist who has drawn a lot of muscle and bone breakdowns. I can't remember their name right now. I'm going to have to find it out and shout them out another time. But I find it so helpful because it's like an artist's breakdown of the muscle and the bone structure. So it's, and you know, it's obviously how they draw it. And it's, I just find it so useful to have up when I'm making my own poses. Okay, so she doesn't, there we go, that line I think should be a bit further out. I think that's what that is, because she looks very poised, very straight. And we've got, okay, so we've got the hand, it comes out here. I'm going to just give this a circle for the time being, we'll go into that in a second. And it's not quite that straight, her stomach isn't that straight, it's got this curve to it. And I just find myself straightening up as I look at her. Her back is definitely, like her posture in this pose, it's great. Well, I assume her, I should probably say they, just to be safe. Okay, so this is where we've got the hip. So there is like the tiniest space between her hand and the leg, so I should watch out for that. Okay, so there is a flatness to where the cube is in, but it's not like it's kind of like that shape. So I've drawn this way too big. I'm not going to fit any of this in. That is the pro of digital, I guess, is that I can just come back and go, I guess I've done this too big, let's scale it down. So if I put the hand here, let's just assess. It should probably be a little bit further out, and the knee should probably be here. We should probably have this arm come out a bit longer. So that we can have the shape that we need. And then we've got, I think that's a bit too big, but it comes in. You can see it's squashing against where she's sitting. But I think that's a bit much. It's just, I think that's a bit too big. Like, that's the shape, but I think I went a bit overboard. There we go. And then you've got a little bit of the calf muscle. And it goes, oh gosh, that angle. It's like when you're making the same expression. Yes, exactly. It's exactly what's happening. And then this has got the other hand in, which kind of comes down like this. I'm already at half time. And then I can kind of just see like some tippy toes popping out. But that has a very strong shape to me there. Okay, I don't hate that. And then the other leg, you kind of see it come out. It comes out very far because the model has quite long legs. So yeah, she's still very straight on, but it's got this nice curve. And then we've got calf, and then we come down. So that's a bit too thin. That's a bit better. And then the heel comes out. We always have that. Her ankle is roughly here. And then, so if I put the floor in here, I've got a rough shape so that I can put the rest of the square in. Just about see that. Yeah, that's about right. And then this one comes up to about here. Okay. So 3 more minutes. I'm gonna make sure I put the rest of the arm in. There isn't too much space between this. So we've got that. I'm gonna make sure I put the hand line in. Where it should be. And okay, let's see if I can clear this up a bit. So I need to... Fortunately, it is working out with the space that I needed. That is there. So I've done something right. And we have a little bit of hand. Doesn't come all the way across though. So I may have done things a bit too small. Got another finger. And this one's kind of raised, this finger. And we just have a little indentation of a thumb. There we go. One hand is in properly. She does still look like she's very up straight, so that's good. I'm glad that I captured that. And I just need to make sure the foot's over the leg. So do you know what I'm noticing is that my toes are too low down because they're not over the leg. So, and that's because I drew the leg in second. So that needs to change. And we've got 1.5 minutes to do it, so that's fine. The toes are actually just up here, kind of thing. And that will hopefully make it look so it's more actually leaning on the leg, because I think that's what that's why that's not quite working. So let's come in with a harsher brush. I need to put a thumb in. I need a commit. I need a commit, and I have 1 minute to do it. Okay. We've got the hand in. And we've got calf. That's not quite... No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to commit to that. It's like she's cradling her leg in her hand. So it's actually kind of like here. And then we've got a little toe. And we've got a big toe. Got a big toe here. That's what we can see. And we've got her nails. Okay. 10 seconds. 10 seconds to get the other foot. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, and I've done it. Time. Let's give you a pause. Oh, no, I don't want to zoom out of this window. I want to zoom out of this window. Okay. Assessment time. I'm not, like, too happy with it, but I'm also not unhappy with it, if that makes sense. I feel like I would have liked to have had this image for, like, the long one. For the long sketch. But considering this was a 10-minute sketch, I'm okay with this because I've obviously spent the time on the leg. This part of the leg's not right. I'm okay with the thigh, like I feel like that needed a bit more work, but it's better than the cuff. And this foot I think is way too big, but I'm okay with it structurally. I think it's okay. I feel like the essence of the model is there. So let's do another one. We got time? Yeah, we got time before the break. So I'm gonna hit save first because I haven't, and I would like to keep this. So today's date is the 9th. Okie dokie. Same model, and Interesting. I like this pose as well. I know it's hard to see on the overlay because it's small, but yeah, her face is completely covered and just the way her arms are moving, it just feels very expressive. Sometimes the essence is the most important part. I think it usually is. I feel like you can forgive a lot of sins if there's a mood coming through, but that's obviously my opinion coming from animation. But I feel like if you really get like the energy, the emotion of the movement, and that, you know, that's just how I feel about a lot of drawing, then it doesn't necessarily matter if a leg is too long. But that's I'm just so rough and ready with my anatomy. But I do think it's important. Okay. I'm gonna hit play. We have 25 minutes on this one, so that's a good chunk of time. A good chunk of time on this one. How is everybody else doing? How is your 3D modelling going, Mitt, if you're still here? I know these streams I tend to be a little less interactive. Okay, so I'm gonna just try and get the gesture. So I've got the head in, and then the elbow comes back and down. So yeah, let's just try and get that in. The hand is about the same level as the elbow, so we're gonna keep that there. The head is very squarely turned. You can see the jaw and the neck, which has got this kind of angle, like we got this, we got this, we got this. That's how I feel with my very quick lines. So this is where I'm gonna be. So yeah, the hand should actually be all the way out here. We've got the elbow, and then we come in and we come out with this leg. We've got a slight bend like this, and then this front line here, we've got, you know, the chest facing up, and we've got like the stomach is it's all stretched out, and then we've got this leg. It's got a slightly down I can't say that word. Trajectory? That was a fail. You all know what I mean. It's pointing down. The thingy is pointing down. And then it's my mortal enemy over here. A front-facing foot. So I should definitely make sure I have time for that. And then, so I want to make sure that we see the chin. So do you know what? This angle is slightly off. It's right up here. Like the elbow should be right up here. And we come in, come round. It's like right up by her forehead. Just at the top of it there. And then this comes round and you see the chin. So this needs to come out. This needs to come here. And then we've got this hand. And it's like by her chest, but like her fingers are like, so I feel like this needs to just come out because her fingers are like just above it, but we've got that claw shape. And then through this gap, this window where you can see her chin, you see like the strap come in and her neck, and you can see where the arm here is bending up and coming down. And you see this elbow. And that's sort of where the foreshortening of all that is. And then we've got her hair, which rests above everything. Just up here. Okay, so she should fit. think? I'm just having a quick do I think anything's immediately off with the legs? I feel like the answer should always be yes. Yes, definitely. But how far out is the knee? It looks okay, I think. I'm gonna say it's okay. Where are the knees? The knees look okay. Maybe a tiny bit low down. I'm gonna say that I've done it. Now I'm gonna let myself come in a bit, because it's also nicer if you guys have a better view. I always remember in art classes and in artist talks at conventions that gesture drawings are more about the feeling energy than correct anatomy. The faster yes, the faster ones 100%. I feel like I kind of prefer the faster drawings, funnily enough. I think that's just because of how I've trained myself over the years, because especially with my daily comics, well, at one point they were daily, they're now Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but when they were, the whole point of those comics originally was to keep drawing every day and to draw quickly, because I could only do them on my lunch break. So I had to try and get like the entire comic done in an hour. Like there's never really a lot of forward planning on those comics. And that's what I have, it's basically what I've trained myself, because I've been doing that since 2018. So I feel like I'm very good at drawing fast in a doodly style. Morning, Exile. How are you doing? And then, okay, we've got the hand, and we've got this part of the hand with the little finger. This little finger comes over here. Got a session in a few minutes. Oh, but you're poking to say, oh, thank you, Exile. Thank you for coming in. Enjoy your session. I hope it's good. I hope it's full of adventure and fun. And just a little bit of peril. 3-hour poses means more time to work on the set. That is true. Do you know what? I don't know if I could do one life drawing sketch for 3 hours. That, I think, would be a huge challenge for me. Because I always feel like I get done with the 50 ones in these streams, and I think that's just where I need practice. It's being able to spend more time, because I can spend a lot of time on digital art. And heck, I think the last couple of streams I've done, I've proven that I can spend a lot of time sorting out the poses on those, because it's taken 2 hours for the last 2 full images we've done to actually get that pose correct. But when it comes to drawing what's in front of me, I feel like my attention span somewhat wavers. And I think it just comes down to where I'm like, that's good enough. I like RPGs too. I think my favourite game I can immediately think of, 100%. I remember I found your streams, T, because you were playing Hades. Because whenever I raid people, I always have a little look, because I try to stick with other artists or tabletop streams, depends on what I'm doing, just to keep a similar vibe. And I remember you were playing Hades, and I was like, I think maybe you were doing art and then you switched to Hades, or you were playing Hades and switched to art, I can't remember. Hades was involved. And I was like, oh, I love this game. It's nice to still see it streamed for a bit, because I know like it was a while after the big Hades hype. But that game has wormed its way into my heart because of just how much I struggled playing it. Definitely met a lot of people playing Hades. It's such a good game, so that is understandable. Okay. 15 minutes. We're good. I feel like I like where the hands have gone. Oh, there's like that's where the other finger is. I was like, there's only 3 fingers. Where is it? And I was like, well, I'm not going to add it if I can't see it. It's like pointing out. It's like pointing over here. Which is very interesting because it's crossing the other hand. And then these fingers you can kind of see a little bit. There's 2 there. That's why I couldn't see it. How interesting. And then we've got a shadow here, which kind of just comes across like that. And then the arm shadows in here. We've got her hair pulled back. We can just see a little bit of that kind of going on there. There's no ear, so don't draw one. I'm always tempted to just add things. You know? Just because I'm like, I feel like this should be here. But then I look at it, I'm like, oh, it doesn't actually exist. It's not actually there. Okay, let's get this hair in. Oh, just give it a bit of a shade. And then this arm doesn't have much of a shade. Okay, so the fingers are just over where the chest is. And then we've got a nice curve. This is about halfway down this top line here, so I think I'm still on point for my anatomy, I think, more or less. And then she comes in soft here. Got the light that curves, and I think maybe that's where my legs are slightly off. So this line is supposed to come down a bit longer than where this one curves in, and that's because of the way she's stretched out. And then this is a nice round line, because we've got the belly outstretched. So we'll just need to move this leg down slightly. That's what's happening there. And so we'll move that down. So that comes out like that. And then here, we have a butt. The other half of the leg there. Yeah. I'm happy with that, I think. Draw what you see, not what you think you see. Yeah. 100%. Just taking the time to just have a little look to make sure that you actually see it. But also, the other thing that really helps me is drawing negative space. So, like, getting the arm in this part was just me focusing on how the negative space around her was looking. Because sometimes you think, oh, there's just, you know, you draw the arm, but then you don't look at the spacing between the arm and the body. And then when you go to add stuff in the middle, you don't have enough room. Or you have too much room. I usually don't have enough room. Just gonna clear some of my working lines so I can see the shape a bit clearer. It's like a very subtle shading there as well, so I'm just gonna add that in. So this is still on a downward trajectory. I don't know why I'm struggling with that word today. That's weird. That's funny. My brain is like, you cannot say it today. Try again tomorrow. Okay. So now I'm thinking that maybe the leg is a bit too... Because there's no way that that goes to here, so maybe this one needs to come down a bit more as well. Now that I'm bringing this down. There's always something wrong with the legs. This time it was I didn't leave room for the stomach. Which is something I've done before, which just because the thing that's helped me out is realizing that this should be seen as 3 parts, not 2. For the longest time I've been drawing the torso in 2 parts, but drawing it in 3 parts, that's where it's at. That's what's really helped me figure out how it moves. So it's not much, it's just that little bit. So I'm gonna just move that down. Just move that down a little bit. Okay, just move that. And I'm going to give that a shade because I'm happy with where they're sitting. Okay, and then let's look at this leg. So if I just draw this line across here, like so. I don't think it's too far off. I think this part's still okay, but I think there was too much of a bend in that leg. So you know what? I think if I just aim for here, you know, almost fixes itself. Let's just get rid of this a bit. I don't like getting rid of the lines completely. I like knowing that where I was going to put things. But there comes a point where you need to be able to see. So, and then I've got the bend. And I'm going to just need to move her up slightly because I'm running out of canvas. So we've got an ankle. And a toe, and then these toes are like down, and then this one's like kind of squished in. Now that's not too bad, but there's something wrong with it, and I think it's just because this line doesn't come round enough. Ooh, I've got an alarm going off. Sorry about that. Silly phone, I'm already awake. I don't know if that came out, but I apologise. At least my alarm is soothing. Okay, well there is a foot in there somewhere. How much time have I got? Oh, 7 minutes. Okay, I need to get the foot in. Otherwise I'm not. And then I'll be sad. I'll be disappointed that I didn't get the foot in. So let me just get that and the knee. We've got this knee. It is still quite turned. And there is like, yeah, it's just this curve going. We got this ankle there. And this kind of starts straight, comes out a teeny bit, goes in. We've got the other ankle. This ankle sits about here, and then we got the foot, the heel comes in there. Couldn't hear the alarm. Okay, good. I do keep my phone off the desk in stream time so that there isn't any risk of hearing it beeping. Because if it's on the desk, I feel like the mic picks it up. And then her toe's got like this little scrunch, like she's holding on to the floor with her toe. can only really see the big one. It's got this little scrunch, which makes sense because when I'm doing something that requires a balance, that's what I do. There is a foot in here. Like, this shape, this makes sense to me, but I think it needs to come over. Like, I think it needs to come over more. Like over here and out more. Like, it's so close to being a foot. It's so close to being a foot. And I've got 5 minutes. One of my favourite artists does his life drawings in pen, so he leaves all his mistakes on the paper. Yeah. I do try to keep them in. It is purely a visibility thing. Because I'm allowing myself to change things over a lot. I don't think I'm at that level, but I do like to draw in pen when I do things traditionally. But I think that's quite a good way of going about it, to be honest. 1, 2, and then we've got these toes coming in on top. Do you know what? That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's not a thing I usually say about feet. Especially if I've drawn them. It's not bad. I'm happy with this pose. I think I've captured the essence. As we were saying. If anything, I would say this needed to be further back. Like, her leg's too far forward now. I don't think I've got 4 minutes. I don't know if that's time to fix it. Because really, this should be back. I'm getting that. And part of me just doesn't want to rub this leg out. Because I'm like, it looks like a foot. I'm just making sure my knees line up as well. I think they do. Yeah, it's just where this is a bit too long. I've got time. I should. Goodbye, foot. Goodbye. Okay, quick. I can still see it. It still exists. I can use it as a guide, maybe. So the ankles should be in line. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Let's do that. Got the ankles in line. We got this line of the foot. And then this comes out here. This goes in. It comes out. It's like this. It's like this. We're doing it. We're being brave. We're redrawing the thing that we were happy with because it's in the wrong place. I think this is a slightly better place. Okay. Got the toe. These 2 toes. Gosh, forward feet. Forward feet, no, I don't like that. That looks weird. Why does that look weird? Because I'm not coming out from the right place, I think. Oh, what happened there? No, I don't want that. We don't want to have that too harsh. We need this to come out, like the foot is here. There we go. Toes are here. A minute and a half. We got this. turn here. I've got these 2 toes. Okay. It's not quite as good as the one that I had in there before, but I am willing to accept it. It's not great, but it is in the right place, more or less. It looks too wide, that's what it is. At least this foot looks okay. Foot on the side. We're okay with this. Ah! My nemesis. You may have defeated me today, but I will win. Okay, that looks a bit better. And we've, you know, that's it. We've got time. I have to accept it. I am overall very happy with this sketch. I really like it. I still think it's a tad far forward because I just kept making the foot bigger and bigger and bigger, so probably needed to adjust that leg a bit more, but this is my only qualm, this bit. I like the way the arms work. The arms look good. I feel happy about those. Okay, having a stretch. It's short break time. So, I need a refill of tea, and I need to have a quick stretch around the house. So, if you need to get a tea or another beverage, or if you need to take your meds, or if you need to do a very quick chore, get ready for the day or the night, it is a good time to do that, because I'm going to be gone for a whole 10 minutes. So I will see you all in 10. back. I have tea, and I have water, and I had a nice banana before coming back, so I'm all revitalized. I hope everybody else had a good break. I am going to continue with the last image, I think it'll be. Very hydrated. I'm prepared for all the hydration. Okay. Let's have a look at what our last image is going to be. Okay. Lots from this model today, but this is good. It's not quite as challenging as the one we had for the 10 minutes. But the leg is still bent. So there is still stuff going on here. Just not quite as much foreshortening, but hopefully we can get this looking good. So I am going to press play. We have 35 minutes. That's 10 minutes more than what we just had. So immediately I'm like, you know, got a sitting. Got, you know, the knees. The knees are kind of in line. If anything, this is slightly further back, so the foot kind of goes halfway down, so this would need to be about there. This is my very rough sketch. Thinking if I do this, then I will actually be able to keep to the canvas size, hopefully. And then, so that's where my leggies are. Got some hands. And then if the legs goes to there, this should go to here. Very rarely start with the hips. So I've done a very strange thing. And then the shoulder doesn't come out as far as this knee. It only comes out to about here. So we might want the body to be there. And then we've got the neck and we've got the head, so a little bit too tall. A little bit too tall. And then she's just looking off over this way. Okay, so there's my very, very rough lines. Just try and make sure I don't go too far out of proportion. It's got this like love heart hairline. And if I just go in, got the jaw. Coming in there, but her hair is very much covering a lot of that. I think actually this one's a bit more over. Because we've got where be. And her brows will be up here. Always try to make sure I get the face in. Or the last one. Because the face is always the thing I want to practice the least, which is why I don't really focus on it for the rest of them. I mean, whatever it is you need to work on, but yeah, for me, I want to try and get the body. It's always been my priority here. Okay, so it's okay. I think everything's a bit too big. Just maybe the eyes are a bit too big there, but that's okay. That in. Just kind of looking over off the screen. Got a face. Got a face. I think I've made her look a little bit too tired. I apologize. too high up, actually. Oh, no, that wasn't what I wanted. A little bit too high. That should come a bit lower there. Like so. This part of the body. I feel like I've somehow made it bigger. Made the head too big, I think. So I'm probably going off sketch a bit annoyingly. Let's see. Shoulders a bit off as well. Not a fan. And there's like the slightest gap. Like there. Think about this. This still looks okay. It's the top of the leg. And then this comes out a bit more than probably what I anticipated. And I think the rest of it's okay. So, got this leg that comes down, this the foot, got this bit of the calf. So yeah, the foot kind of does that, and then we've got a toe. Kind of like that shape. Yeah, the rest of this just needs to be longer. I've made the legs too short again, which is par for the course. As long as we recognize it and fix it, I think everything's okay. So there isn't actually that much space between the butt and the heel, which is why I feel like this is too short. So I'm going to bring this right down. I'm going to have to probably shrink this a bit to get the other leg in. But that's okay. And then just above here is where we've got the... So actually, no. That's true. Because if this is his pant line, it feels very long. Then again, I think it is quite long. Let's go with it. Let's go with what we think is right. Okay. And then we've got the start of the hand at the correct place. This thumb comes in. It's not like a huge dent in the hand. She's got quite thin hands. They're quite dainty. I really like the way that this little one over here is kind of off like this. Sometimes what feels right is better to, yeah, Like, I'm just going off-road. Who knows when I'm coming back. And then we've got the other hand as well. I need to put in. Because this finger is going to come back around like that. And then the middle one is pretty much covered, so. How is the other hand folding round? So thumbs are kind of in line. Got a thumb. And then following that thumb, just above... Ah, see, that's where I've gone wrong. Okay, I see. Got this finger first, and it's folding over on the top of this one. Like that. And then here we've got this finger pointing out. Just a little bit. Just a little bit out. Then we've got another one of these fingers on the other hand coming down. And then we've got this one folding round. And I might just have to move that little finger even further out. Again, keep picking the wrong tool. There we go. I don't want such a harsh erasure there. There we go. And then the little finger is just kind of flicking out there. And then this is kind of coming over here, even further. Like that. So we got this, and this. This is like a shadow. Hands in there. That line of the back of the hand is not quite right though. Got the wrist there, and then it's more of a it's not really so much of a curve there. Okay, what am I doing for time? 17 minutes. Cool, 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 cool. I think we're okay. That's maybe a bit too much there. Other leg. So it's resting on the hand. The thigh kind of comes just below. And the knees, this one's ever so slightly further out, I think. We've got the angle, so do I need to shrink it? I think I do. Just a tad. Because that's obviously not, it's not going to be that short. That would be silly. It's just a little bit longer than that, so we've got... Trying to look at the space as well, like I did before, so... This should come in just before the top of the foot, so maybe even this needs to come up, actually. To match where this needs to come in. And this will come down to about here, I think. This is more of the length we need. put in. That needs to be longer. Otherwise, it's a very weirdly small calf muscle. This needs to have a bit more of a curvature, I think. Okay, and then this will come down here. Just want to get the box in a bit. Spike. Just comes out a little bit. Okay, I feel like I've made the torso maybe a little bit too long. Having a bit of a stretch. 13 minutes. Just taking stock. Overall, I think it's still going alright. Maybe that's just a bit too far out, but hey, we don't need to really worry about the box. I'm okay if that's a bit off model. It's not what I've been focusing on. I have her shadow, which is nice, so I'm going to add that in. Which kind of comes out here, so we got that bit of a sharp point. And then it just kind of flows off. Like the way it looks, so I'm adding it in. Moves. I'm just going to come in and make her look a little less tired because it's bothering me. I don't want her to look tired because she doesn't look tired. I'm a bit happier now. Feet. I don't think you can get away with not drawing the feet. You've got plenty of time to draw the feet. Okay. I don't hate the shape that's going on here already. I feel like this needs to have a bit more of a straightness to it or something. I think that's gone a bit too big. Like I don't know, there's something off. I don't know if it's too thick on one side. Nope, that's the wrong. Don't want that. Like there's a bit of a point here. Where the toe is, where the toe joints are. It's just, I don't see like a huge amount of shape. Continue on the shadow as well. Just need to get that in. Maybe I want to work on the shape here a bit more. There's a lot of shape in that because of the angle. It's like how the knee isn't very defined either because we've got this curve. Almost like we've got this line come in, and that's what the calf is lining up with. Okay. What have we got? 9 minutes. 9 minutes. So I can see like a shadow of it. Like there's like almost a triangular shadow here, which I'm going to use to hopefully help me and not hinder. Got a nice round section there. And the nail. Kind of see the nail here too. Okay, yeah, I don't hate that one. Yay! I feel like I don't hate that is my code for I like it, you know, 'cause sometimes you just can't bring yourself to say I like that. Sometimes I can, but sometimes I'm not confident enough to say that I like it, therefore I'm gonna just say I don't hate it. Now I kind of like the hands, but I feel like there's a bit too much going on with the lines, so I might try and neaten these up so I can add her nails, because they're lovely. I think that'll just make her hands look daintier and prettier, because they are very, very dainty. Oh, nope. Nope, I did it again. Yeah, and this one is the one that's tucked in. And there's just that little shade. That's a nail, the thumb there, and then this finger comes round. I think it's coming over this one. There we go. And same with this, you can see the nail just poking out. It's kind of like poking into her leg by the look of it. And then this one comes round. And it's, yeah, kind of in line. Have enough space in between the fingers to identify them because of the way they're interlocking. And this is what I mean just erasing to tidy it up, because it'd be nice to just get the detail there. And this one comes round. And there's like the slightest nail, a teeny tiny, like where the finger's just pointing out, where this last one here is interlocking, before we get the little finger on the end. just here. There we go. And just a little clearer now. I think she's even looking in the wrong direction. I think she's looking a bit too far over. Let's get rid of that. These can be redrawn. I have the time, so I'm going back with all of these extra bits on the face and having a bit of a fix. We're almost done. We got 3 minutes. 3 more minutes. Let's see. Got the ear. Ooh, that's a bit too far out. And got this. There's like a nice shine that I'm just gonna not be able to capture too well. But got the neck. She's got these very prominent collarbones. I feel like if anything I needed to get more of a shoulder up because it doesn't quite look like the same pose almost. But never mind. Never mind. Muscle structure in. Definitely like working on different parts randomly instead of focus on parts one by one. I feel like I try to focus in, but I think my mind does kind of flitter about, but I feel like I get better results when I focus in, which is why I focus in, but I think it depends on what works best for you. It's not going to be the case for everybody. Been thinking of your favourite mythical animal. Ah, yeah, because of Pet Mimic Box questions. And I still think it's unicorns. So when they became popular in recent years, I was glad it was easier to find unicorn-themed things. Yeah. That's what. This foot looks great, though. I'm very happy with this foot. This foot's also okay. I just think maybe it's too small now. But you know what? I think it's fine. Let's have a look. Yeah. I just want to really hammer home how dark her hair is. Come in. Give it a shade. I like unicorns. Unicorns are fun. I think when it comes to my favourite mythical creatures, I'm always partial to a shapeshifter. Those are... I can't help myself. Yeah, I feel like that was supposed to be straighter. We're done! We're done. Here we go. This is my finished long sketch. There we go. We'll stay at this zoom. I think for me, if I focus on one thing too much, the picture as a whole tends to look too patchy. That is absolutely fair. Shapeshifters are good because then you can have multiple mythical creatures. Exactly. Like, I don't. So I like changelings. I like werewolves. Anything that's got a transformation power is usually something that is endearing to me. Okay. Before we go, let's have a quick look back at all of our sketches in order. So we'll go with the very quick ones. These are the 30-second ones. So these are all about just getting the pose. Like, it's pretty much stick figures, but trying to just get everything in. And for the most part, I did actually get the entire pose in. I missed the hands out there. There were a couple where I missed the feet. But a lot of them I feel like I got the pose in. Like, I didn't get the wand in there, but I knew that there's a wand that's supposed to be there. And then I think this is a minute. And I actually really like this pose. I'm like, oh, this one's really working. And then we've got a walk, which I missed the foot, but I still feel like you've got the slouchedness like in there. So I'm quite happy with that one. This one I like because this was a very sassy, bendy pose. I didn't quite get the feet in again because that's just the running theme. But I feel like I like the angles of that. Aha, this one, yes, the arms are a little bit weird, but they're there. And I feel like if I had a bit more time, I could rework it to shorten them down because this was like a 3-minute one, I think. And then we've got this one I love. This one... Like, I don't know what's happening with the foot there, but I feel like I could have made it work. Like, it looks nicely wound in, and I like the way that I've emphasized the, what is it? The ribs. This one is one of my favorites. Aha, and then we had this one. I wish this was our 50-minute one, but do you know what? I'm looking at it again, and I do feel like the leg is folded over. It's not quite, like there's something off. But the leg is definitely folded on. So, win, I suppose. And then this one, this is my favourite one. The front foot's looking alright, this foot's looking good, we've got the hands. It definitely looks like she's just in the middle of a yoga pose. I really like this one. This one just feels big. Big and hand-wavy to me. And then we've got this one, which I feel like maybe I overdrew a few bits, like I was overworking them, but I think it's okay. Overall, I'm happy with the angle. I feel like if anything, the torso is slightly too long. I feel like that's probably what I'm looking at and finding funny with it. But I feel like the hands were quite complicated and they look nice. And the feet both look, you know, acceptable. I really like this one especially. I think that's got a good angle to it and a good flow. But I just think this one is better. I really like this one. But there was more going on with this one. I have to give myself that this pose is a lot more big. And she's doing a lot more with her limbs than just sitting there. So I quite like the way that the muscles are contracted here. So I think we did good. I think we did good overall. So, hooray! That is the class for today. If anybody did anything, if you did anything T, please come into the Discord and pop it in the creative corner. But I guess only if you're feeling confident. But if not, no worries. I don't even know if you did any drawings. I just saw the link pop up, so it may have been that you were saving it for later. But no worries. Like how bendy... Oh yeah, one of the earlier ones, like the one on the rocks maybe? I don't know. But there were some really nice poses today. I'm really happy with today's class overall. I feel like I got some good stuff going. Yes, the rock one. Yeah. I think that's my other favourite. You know, I've got this one, and then where is the rock one? It's here. There we go, this one. It looks good. So those are my two favourites. Okie dokie then. But yeah, I did some scribbles. I used this site and maybe 2 more for the time draw. Oh, cool. They're not too good. No worries. Only if you feel comfortable. Like, I always love to see what people have done during the streams, but there's no pressure to share if you don't feel comfortable sharing them, then that's all good too. Okay, who is online that we can raid? What is Galacticat doing right now? Let's have a look, see at what Galacticat is doing right now. I think they're doing some art, so that seems like a good transition. I'll have to see. I'm getting ads. What is happening? Oh yeah, we got some sketchbook works. That seems like a good move over. There's some mushroom houses. Ah, it looks so cute. Okay, let's go raid Galacticat. Raid Gal Cat 93. Invalid username. I spelt it wrong. Let's try that again. The raid has been created. I did it right this time. Okay. If you have unlocked the emote, please feel free to use this raid message that I'm about to send. Oh, no, not that emote. That emote, there we go. But if not, never fear. I have a love heart version. Coming on up. Nice! So stick around for the raid. Let's see what Galacticat is working on. It looks very cool. It looks very cute. I should be streaming again tomorrow. Same time, 7 AM GMT time. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you around. Thank you for joining, T. It's been really nice chatting. Until then, have a good rest of your day or evening, and I will see you next time. Bye!